Nobody saw this coming. Not like this. Not after everything he showed us. Jonathan Kuminga, once seen as the bridge to the Warriors' future, is now at the heart of a storm that threatens to shake the very foundation of Dub Nation. And in the middle of July, just when fans were bracing for a quiet offseason, this isn't just a rumor. This is a full-blown reckoning. Before we get into the emotional core of what this all means, the heartbreak, the confusion, the possible rebirth, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Because what we're about to break down may be the most important moment for the Golden State Warriors since Kevin Durant left. This isn't just a trade rumor. It's a turning point. Sources close to the organization have confirmed what was once unthinkable. The Warriors are reportedly exploring a sign-and-trade centered around Jonathan Kuminga. The front-runner? The Washington Wizards, a team drowning in draft capital and desperate for a face to build around. According to Anthony Slater, one of the most reliable voices when it comes to Warriors news, Washington is not just knocking on the door, they're pushing it down. It's an aggressive play. The Wizards are rebuilding from scratch, and they see Kuminga not as a project, but as a future all-star. That's why they're prepared to go all in, dangling not just future draft picks, 28 of them at their disposal, but also young players they've stashed and developed. Among those names, one stands out, Keshad George. A 6'8" shooting guard with elite defensive instincts, George might just be the kind of perimeter defender the Warriors have lacked since Andre Iguodala walked away. It makes sense on paper. But this is more than paper. This is personal. Because Kuminga isn't just another player. He's the kid who waited his turn. The one who didn't flinch when they asked him to sit. The one who, when finally given the minutes, exploded with athleticism, power, and promise. Trading him now, right when he's about to bloom, feels like cutting the cord before the electricity can even run. Still, the Warriors are listening. And they're not the only ones. The Miami Heat, the Chicago Bulls, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Brooklyn Nets are all reportedly monitoring the situation. Each team has assets. Some have veterans. Some have young talent. But none, not even the Heat with their history of flipping role players into gold, seem to offer the package that Washington can: youth, picks, and positional versatility. Yet the rumor mill didn't stop there. Out of nowhere, a new name has entered the frame: Marcus Smart. Yes, the 2022 Defensive Player of the Year. The ultimate competitor. The kind of veteran voice that could help rewire the Warriors' identity in the post-Draymond era. But Smart comes with baggage, literally. An expiring $21 million contract, and a recent injury history that has many wondering if his body can hold up for another deep playoff run. Smart's presence complicates things. Because now the Warriors aren't just debating youth versus future picks, they're weighing championship DNA against physical durability. They're asking themselves whether grit and leadership can be bought, or whether it has to be built from within. Then there's the salary math. It's not as simple as sending Kuminga out and bringing picks in. Washington might need to throw in contracts like Corey Kispert, a lights-out shooter, or A.J. Johnson, a raw 20-year-old with explosive upside. But the financial puzzle is a mess. Every possible deal feels like it has one piece missing. One part that doesn't quite fit. Which brings us to the question that nobody seems able to answer: why trade Kuminga now? The timing feels off. Kuminga, despite being one of the Warriors' most athletic and promising talents, didn't see a single minute in clutch playoff moments last season. Fans were left baffled. Was it a coaching oversight? A lack of trust from Steve Kerr? Or something deeper, something philosophical about the direction of the team? Insiders suggest that the Warriors are caught between timelines. On one hand, you have Steph Curry, still performing at an elite level, still hungry for another title. On the other, you have a front office staring down the reality of a brutal Western Conference filled with giants like Denver, Minnesota, and OKC. There's no margin for error. And that's why Las Vegas, ironically, might be the setting for the most important meeting of the summer. Reports indicate that during the Summer League, GM Mike Dunleavy Jr., head coach Steve Kerr, and Kuminga's camp could sit down face-to-face. Not in press rooms. Not through agents, but in person. Eye to eye. The conversation. Defining Kuminga's future, once and for all. That's the emotional pressure point. Because this isn't just strategy anymore. This is legacy. This is loyalty. This is trust between a player who waited his turn and a franchise that claims to value patience and development. And while the Wizards are offering a treasure chest, not everyone is offering with good intentions. The Sacramento Kings reportedly put a package on the table centered around Devin Carter and Dario Saric. One insider labeled the deal a joke. And given the long-standing rivalry between the Warriors and Kings, it almost felt like a taunt, a disrespectful offer from a franchise that's still licking its wounds from that first-round playoff exit. That proposal might have been insulting, but it exposed something more important: everyone knows that Kuminga is available. And when the league knows a player is on the block, the perception shifts. Suddenly, the Warriors are no longer in full control. That's dangerous. Especially for Steve Kerr, who now faces the biggest pressure point of his tenure since the departure of Kevin Durant. He has to decide whether his system, built on movement, intelligence, and unselfishness, can still thrive with explosive athleticism like Kuminga's. Or whether it's time to recalibrate the identity of the team around more traditional defensive-minded veterans and high-IQ glue guys. It's an identity crisis. And it's playing out in real time. Golden State isn't just navigating roster construction. They're battling the ghosts of their own success. The echoes of 2015, 2017, and 2018 still linger. But the league has changed. The game has evolved. And maybe, just maybe, the Warriors need to evolve too. That's what makes this so painful. Because for every fan who believes it's time to retool, there's another who sees Kuminga as the heartbeat of what's next. The emotional paradox is real. The fear of letting go of a potential star versus the hope of rebuilding something even stronger. This isn't just a trade rumor, it's an emotional fracture. A moment that could define what comes next for one of the most iconic dynasties in basketball history. Will the Warriors take a gamble and bet on untapped upside? Or will they cash in now and build with picks, defenders, and veteran toughness? Whichever path they choose, it won't be easy. And it won't be without scars. But one thing's for sure, Dub Nation won't be silent. The voices are growing louder. The questions are mounting. And the weight of every decision is now magnified by the ticking clock of Steph Curry's remaining prime. So as the summer league heats up, and as front offices work phones deep into the night, know this: whatever happens with Kuminga won't just shape next season. It may define the Warriors' next 5 years. Stay locked in. This is just the beginning. And here's a tip from the Fan Golden State Warriors channel: study financial education and have opportunities in the financial market by studying REITs and investing in large brokerages around the world.